Hello students, our topic of discussion is atypical cervical vertebrae. They are C1, C2 and C7. C1 is known as atlas, C2 is known as axis and C7 is known as vertebra prominence. Quick identification features of atypical cervical vertebrae. C1 atlas is identified by ring of bone and absence of body and spine. C2 axis is identified by odontoid process or dens. C7 vertebra prominence is identified by unbifid, elongated, horizontal, prominent spine. Let's start with first cervical vertebra. It is also known as atlas because it supports the globe of head. It consists of two lateral masses and short anterior arch and long curved posterior arch. It is devoid of body or centrum and spine. Centrum or body of atlas is fused with that of axis and form dens or odontoid process, which articulate with anterior arch of atlas to form median atlantoaxial joint, which is pivot variety of synovial joint. Around the odontoid process, atlas with entire skull rotates, so atlas rotates around its own lost body. Lost spine of atlas is represented by posterior tubercle of posterior arch of atlas, which permits the backward nodding of head at atlanto-occipital joint. Anterior arch of atlas presents anterior tubercle in front for attachment of anterior longitudinal ligament and posteriorly median facet for articulation with the dens of axis to form median atlantoaxial joint. Upper margin of anterior arch is connected to anterior margin of foramen magnum by anterior atlanto-occipital membrane. Lower margin of anterior arch of atlas is attached to the body of axis by atlantoaxial membrane. Long posterior arch correspond to the lamina of other cervical vertebrae. Just behind the lateral mass, upper surface of posterior arch presents a wide groove for lodgement of third part of vertebral artery and first cervical nerve. The nerve lies between artery above and bone below. Suppose this red is third part of vertebral artery and this is dorsal ramus of C1 nerve. So this dorsal ramus of C1 nerve emerges between artery above and arch below. Upper margin of posterior arch of atlas behind the arterial groove is connected to posterior margin of foramen magnum by posterior atlanto-occipital membrane. Both posterior arch of atlas and posterior atlanto-occipital membrane are forming floor of suboccipital triangle. Lower border of posterior arch of atlas is connected to lamina of axis by highest pair of ligamentum flava. Rudimentary posterior tubercle projects backward in median plane from posterior surface, gives attachment to a sleeve of ligamentum nuchae in middle and rectus capitis posterior minor muscle on each side. Upper articular facet is deeply concave, kidney shaped and converges towards its fellow. Upper facet articulates with occipital condyle to form lateral atlanto-occipital joint, which is ellipsoid variety of synovial joint. Inferior articular facet is circular and flat, directed downwards and medially and articulate with corresponding facet of axis vertebra and form lateral atlantoaxial joint, which is plane variety of synovial joint. Tubercle projects medially from each lateral mass and gives attachment to transverse ligament of atlas, which passes behind odontoid process and keeps it in its position. Transverse processes project laterally from each lateral mass. They are unusually long, which provides efficient levers for rotation of atlas. Tip of transverse process corresponds to posterior tubercle of typical cervical vertebra. So, bone in front of foramen transversorium represents the costotransverse bar. The anterior tubercle is represented by minute tubercle on anterior surface of lateral mass and anterior root is absent. Attachments of transverse process. Upper surface provides attachment to rectus capitis lateralis and superior oblique muscle. Tip provides attachment to inferior oblique muscle. On lower and lateral surface, scalenus medius, levator scapulae and sleeves of splenius cervicis are attached. Transverse process is related anteriorly with internal jugular vein. Tip of transverse process is crossed by spinal accessory nerve and occipital artery. Tip is overlapped by parotid gland and palpable by deep pressure midway between angle of mandible and tip of mastoid process. Second cervical vertebra. It is also known as axis because odontoid process acts as a pivot around which atlas rotates. Axis is atypical in upper part and typical in lower part. It is characterized by three features: odontoid process, weight-bearing superior articular facets, and massive bifid spine. Odontoid process or dens projects upwards from body and represents the centrum of atlas. Dens presents oval facet on anterior aspect which articulate with the anterior arch of atlas to form median atlantoaxial joint, which is pivot variety of synovial joint. Dens present a groove on posterior aspect which lodges the transverse ligament separated by a bursa. Tip of dens is connected to anterior margin of foramen magnum by apical ligament, which is remnant of notochord. A pair of alar ligaments diverge from dens to lateral margin of foramen magnum. Superior articular facets are weight-bearing, encroach on side of body and overhang foramen transversorium. Superior articular facets lie on more anterior plane than inferior articular facets. Spine is bifid and massive. It provides attachment to ligamentum nuchae and 5 pairs of muscles. They are rectus capitis posterior major, inferior oblique, semispinalis cervicis, multifidus and rotators. Upward extents of deep muscles of neck are arrested by spine of axis, thus making atlas free to rotate around the dens. Each transverse process is smallest in comparison to other cervical vertebrae and its tip is directed downwards and laterally. Seventh cervical vertebra is also known as vertebra prominens because its unbifid elongated spine forms a prominent palpable projection which provides lowest attachment of ligamentum nuchae. Transverse processes are comparatively larger in size. Posterior root is larger than anterior root and anterior tubercle is sometimes absent. Foramen transversorium is relatively small, sometimes double or may be entirely absent. Foramen transversorium transmit a plexus of vertebral veins but not the vertebral artery which passes in front of transverse process. Deep and lower surface of transverse process provides attachment to Sifson's fascia, which is also known as suprapleural membrane, and highest levator costae muscle. Costal element may develop separately and form cervical rib. Relationship of cervical nerves with cervical vertebrae. Cervical vertebrae are 7 in number and we have 8 pairs of cervical nerves. First cervical nerve emerges between skull and atlas. Each cervical nerve except 8th passes above the corresponding cervical vertebrae. The 8th cervical nerve emerges above the first thoracic vertebra, means it passes below the C7 cervical vertebra. Articular facet of lateral mass of atlas and superior articular facet of axis, they are in series with the oncovertebral joints between bodies of typical cervical vertebrae. Articular facet on lateral mass of atlas and superior articular facet of axis, they are not identical with the articular facet of typical cervical vertebrae. This explains why first and second cervical nerves passes behind the joints and rest of the cervical nerve passes in front of interarticular joints. Weight transmission through cervical vertebrae. The weight of skull is not transmitted through center of atlas and axis. It passes through lateral mass of atlas and superior articular facets of axis. That means through atlanto-occipital and lateral atlanto-axial joints. Below the axis, weight is supported by vertebral bodies.
Clinical anatomy related to cervical vertebrae. First is cervical rib. As you know, in thoracic vertebra, costal element is enlarged to form a rib. Likewise, in C7 cervical vertebra, costal element is enlarged to form a cervical rib. This cervical rib is an additional rib arising from C7 vertebra, and it is usually gets attached to the first rib near the insertion of scalenus anterior muscle. If the rib is more than 5 cm long, it usually displaces the brachial plexus and subclavian artery upwards. Due to this, there can be symptoms are tingling pain along inner border of forearm and hand, including weakness and paralysis of muscles of palm. Intervertebral foramina between adjacent vertebrae lies anterior to the interarticular joints. Sometimes arthritic changes can occur in these joints and tiny projections or osteophytes can be formed, and these osteophytes can compress the nerves emerging from these intervertebral foramina. Osteophytes affecting joints of Luschka can compress posterolaterally placed nerve roots and vertebral artery in foramen transversorium. Collapse of intervertebral disc most commonly occurs in lower cervical region. Most commonly affected intervertebral disc, that is above C6 cervical vertebra and below the C6 cervical vertebra. So nerve roots affected are C6 and C7 cervical nerves. So due to this, there is pain and tingling sensation along the lateral side of forearm and hand. During judicial hanging, the odontoid process usually breaks and hit upon the vital centers in the medulla oblongata that leads to death of person. Sometimes atlas may fuse with the occipital bone. This is called as occipitalization of atlas. This may at times compresses the spinal cord, which requires surgical decompression.